decided to name my stock portfolio project the Walker Flock of Flame Fund after the famous rapper, Walker Flock of Flame. I invested in 5 stocks. My first one was Dean Foods, Home Depot, Amazon.com, Medtronic Plc, and General Electric. So my first stock was Dean Foods, which is an American dairy distribution company. In 1927, Samuel E. Dean purchased an evaporated milk facility in Illinois. In 1929, it became Dean Milk Company, and then later in 1963, they switched the name to Dean Foods Company, which is what it is now. In 2002, Dean Foods acquired White Wave, which are the people who make the soy milk process, the soy milk product Silk. And being as I'm lactose intolerant, I found that interesting because I drink their milk. So why Dean's Food Co? The United States is currently working on the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which if passed will eliminate 18,000 taxes and other trade barriers on American products across 11 countries. It eliminates all agricultural export subsidies and will open the American dairy market to more countries. So I thought it would be a smart idea to invest in an American dairy company that would now have more countries to reach and distribute its products. This is its performance over the past 9 weeks. So I bought it at $17.91 and sold it at $18.72. So at week 1, you see a huge rally, and that's because 11 countries agreed to the Trans-Pacific Partnership, but the United States Congress hasn't approved it yet, so it's not official. Otherwise, it would be up and running, which is why it's not a crazy hike. So milk costs were pretty low, which ended up hurting the company, and that's why you see a downward trend. But then in week 5, the price of soy dropped tremendously, and so the production costs were cut, and so there was a huge profit from their soy milk industry. My next company was General Electric, which has 8 sectors: power and water, oil and gas, energy and management, aviation, healthcare, transportation, appliances and lighting, and GE Capital. It operates in 175 countries. In 1878, Thomas Edison founded the Edison Electric Light Company, and in 1900, GE made the first ever broadcast. I found an interesting fact that in 1935, the first ever night baseball game was played, and this was because GE had made the lights to be able to power the game. So if it wasn't for them, we would never have night sport games. It was in Cincinnati, Ohio. I cannot remember who they were playing. So why General Electric? It's a blue chip stock, and it was kind of my safety stock in my portfolio. The world is leaning towards more energy efficient batteries, and they're really trying to do a lot of research with that. Also, it has different sectors that would benefit from any range of oil prices. So if oil prices were low, aviation and transportation would benefit, but if they raised, their oil sector would benefit, so it kind of hedged itself and wasn't too risky, and it was just a safety. Overall, I did very well. Within the first week, they announced a program called Current, which was a program that ensures that it analyzes complex energy for companies. And recently, when I bought the stock, was when Volkswagen had that whole problem that their energy efficient cars weren't actually energy efficient. So companies really wanted an insurance policy that approved and validated that their countries were actually efficient, which is what GE did. The low interest rates increased spending, so many people were buying home appliances, refrigerators, washing machines, that kind of stuff. In week 6, Burma had a new democratic election, which allowed companies to come invest in energy companies to come invest into their country, and GE was one of the big ones. My next one was Amazon.com. I started in founder Jeff Bezos' garage, where so did Facebook started in garages, all these internet companies. It was originally an online bookstore. The current logo is a smile from A to Z because they can reach anywhere and everyone in the world, which I thought was kind of funny. They own 10% of all North American e-commerce, which is a huge portion of North American e-commerce. I thought it was interesting that PowerPoint presentations are banned at their company because the CEO believes that stating stats and statistics is ineffective, and he makes all of his employees do reading comprehension during their meetings. They're very frugal. They like to save all of their money, so all of the desks are made out of recycled doors that they've taken out of the office. So I thought that was pretty cool. So why Amazon.com? So my uncle recently broke off from Universal Studios and started his own movie distribution company called Bleecker Street and made a multi-million-dollar deal with Amazon. And I believe in his company, so therefore I decided to invest in Amazon.com. Also, technical analysis, I saw a steady upward trend, and I bought the stock right here, so it was starting to recover from a drop in price. Overall, this was my best performing stock. I bought it at $533 and sold it at $672. Most of it was due to micro factors, and it continued to rally from when I bought it. And also the consumer spending and the holiday season, Cyber Monday benefited it a lot, and low interest rates increased consumer spending. My next stock was Medtronic Plc, which is an Irish medical device company, and although their address is in Minnesota, the Irish part is very important later. So it has 4 sectors: cardiac and vascular group, restorative therapy group, minimal invasive therapy group, and diabetes group. I decided to invest in it because their wireless heart pacers recently got approved in Europe, and with that they would be doing a lot of surgeries. A lot of people would be demanding this new heart pacer. This is a picture of it. It's super, super tiny. And also obesity rates are very high right now, so diabetes. Okay. So in week 1, the US announced that they were going to repeal the medical device tax, which clearly would benefit this company's profits tremendously. And then throughout the 9 weeks, various studies about the number of people with strokes and diabetes and obesity came out, also improving it. And in week 6, the company announced that they were going to move their address to Dublin from Minnesota. And since US companies get taxed 35% on their foreign profits by moving their address overseas where they were making most of their sales, they got rid of the 35% tax. So the stock is now climbing tremendously because of that. So my last stock was Home Depot. In 1978, it was founded by Bernie Marcus and Arthur Blank. Home Depot has the most employees who are Olympians and Olympic medal winners out of any other country in the world, which I thought was really cool. And they are really big on hiring Olympians because they believe athletes make very good employees. The co-founder, Arthur Blank, currently owns the Atlanta Falcons. And the first store was filled with empty boxes to make it look like they had a lot of products, and they really didn't. And they had like 2% of what they actually had the store filled with. Why Home Depot? So I knew it was hurricane and snow season coming up, and that people would have to redo their homes, have a lot of construction done, and also there were low interest rates, so more people are buying homes and need to add to them. So in week 1 was when Hurricane Jaquan hit the East Coast. So you see like a little bit of a rally, but it wasn't that significant. And then week 3 was Hurricane Patricia, was announced to be the strongest hurricane to hit landfall, and then it didn't actually ever hit landfall, so there was a little dip in the stock. And then week 6, you see a huge rally, and that's because the Fed announced that they would be lowering interest rates, and so more people are buying homes. So overall, I was very bullish. I came out with a total of $113,620.86. That's